And, of course, Kalani Sitake, the head coach at Brigham Young, has spoken with us before. When all the news came down, they were joining the conference the week before they played Baylor, and also in the offseason. We have appreciated our friendship with him, and he joins us now on Sikkim 365 Radio, 365 Sports. Kalani, thanks for your time, Coach. You have a very seasoned and experienced team, and expectations are obviously very, very good. Do you like the way they've handled August and also your opening game route against South Florida?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really proud with our team, and just really happy about the leadership that I'm seeing from our players. And so, it worked out for game one. I really enjoyed the month of fall camp with them, and seeing the progress that they made from practice one all the way leading up to the game against South Florida. And now we're home for this home opener against a really, really good Baylor team, the conference champs. And so just looking forward to the matchup. But I'm really, really happy with the boys, and happy with the way that they're leading, happy with the way that they're connecting with each other. And I think that should happen when you have a lot of returners coming and a lot of veterans on the team. So just try not to get in their way.
A lot of guys on both these teams saw each other last year. Does that familiarity help or hurt, or is there like a balance there?
Well, I think there's a balance. I think we hope that we're different than the guys that played last year. We think we're hopefully a little bit healthier and a little bit stronger. But it was a great eye opener for our guys, and to go against that physical O-line and D-line and overall team, that was for me, it was a great learning experience for our players and our program. And we knew that after that game, we just had a sense that was a really good team. And look what they did. They went on and had a great season and won the conference. And so I mentioned it before earlier this week on the Standard. These are the champs. And so it was a great opportunity for us to measure ourselves and see how we match up to them. Last year, they got the best of us, and we know that we're going to have to play a really, really good, clean game, and the type of game that we want to play. Baylor is going to have something to say against that, but that's the fun matchup of it all. We're familiar with them, they're familiar with us, but at the same time, tons of respect and appreciation for this opportunity for us to play them, and looking forward to it.
Coach, how do you wait out a 2.5-hour weather delay?
Well, for me, I'm not a very patient person, so it was hard for me. That thing lasted forever. I was like, man, that took, and it was like the deal with the weather. I can't control it, so what we can do is focus on what we can control, and that's our emotions and our energy. And so we had to just take a little step back, and it literally happened. We had the team together, got them all geeked up, and I gave my talk and had tons of energy come out of the locker room. Right before we entered the field, they said, "Hey, sorry, we're in a delay." And so I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And I'm like, I got to figure out how to do another talk in a couple hours or whatever, But it was, but the guys are mature and handled themselves the right way, and it happened to be the opening kickoff for our first game, and so we kind of knew that might have been the deal, but. We just didn't think it was going to happen at like those times. Or maybe it would happen during the game sometime, maybe halftime. But the guys, I appreciate them just having a great attitude about it. The guys we want them to relax and be ready. And fortunately, they're able to flip that switch on and off.
So you can't just say what I said before. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They're players. I mean, these guys are young men, so I'd like to think that they listened to everything that I said. But who knows? Nowadays, these guys could have been on their headphones and not even heard a word that I said. But I don't really care as long as they're ready to go out and play.
Do you remember, Kalani, your best ever pregame speech? Is there one that maybe you just knew you hit it?
For me,
yes, sir.
No. I just try to keep the kids loose, and I want to focus on them having fun and being at their best self, and trying to make sure that they can feel good about their preparation. I feel like if I'm panicked and trying to find some kind of emotion to get them going, then it overrides all the hard work that they put in along the way. So I wanted to just remind them the work that it took to get them to where they're at, how proud I am of them, and let's go out there and have some fun, man. It's just the last second coaching doesn't work. The coaching happens for us from Monday to Friday, and then get to the game. So and it comes down to the boys having a good time. I want them to play at their best, and that usually happens when they're enjoying the opportunity to play the game.
Does last year matter at all prepping for this year?
Of course, yeah. You look at the way the players played. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Opweek is still standing there on the field, so we got to block them. So but you look at the demeanor and the way the program is run from Baylor, from what we saw. And we know that we're going to get their best shot. We just need to make sure that our best shot shows up as well, And so I think for us, there's some knowledge of what they do. Obviously, the scheme may change a little bit here and there, but for the most part, the foundation of that program is the same. And we'd like to think that we have a solid foundation here as well. And then we'll just go out there and let the players settle it on the field. Regardless of the result, there'll be tons of love and appreciation and respect on our part for Baylor and that program and definitely their fans. I mentioned it before. We felt really welcomed when we came there and had that really cool experience. Even though it didn't end up going the way we wanted it to, we were able to have a word of prayer with them on the field, and that felt really good, man. It just felt good. The fans are great. Welcome. We had a lot of fans that visited, and they couldn't say anything but great things about how the fans welcomed them there. So hopefully we can return the favor when they come to Provo.
What are the Baylor fans who come to Provo in for who've never been to a game there?
Well, I get jealous because I hear they hand out ice cream, before the fourth quarter. So, the fans here are amazing. They'll love their experience here. You look at the mountains in the background, and it's a different part of the country. So, we're excited to have them here in the mountains and definitely in our home stadium. It's named after a man that I adore and I love. So anytime we can get people and share the story of Lavelle Edwards and then have him in a stadium that is named after him, it would be a lot of fun.
Coach, watching that game last year, there was a lot of different players to be impressed by, but certainly your quarterback, Jiren Hallman, being a QB, he's going to be a headliner. But I think a lot of people saw then that, man, he's still got a ways to go, but he's already good. He's going to be, even better as he continues to play more. What did you see just as last season progressed and then throughout this offseason to where you are now with Jiren and just kind of how he fits as a leader for your program and also a great player?
Well, I think just him being comfortable in that leadership role and him being comfortable being the quarterback of the team. And, he was going into fall camp, he was battling for a starting spot. And so now it's his spot. He's had some time to gain confidence in the boys and being able to get the connection with the receivers. And then he just has a lot more comfort being the guy, the signal caller and making checks and audibles, things like that. There's a lot more freedom that our offense coordinator A-Rod gives him. And so I really believe he feels like this is his team, his offense. And I'm really proud of the decisions that he's made. And where to put the ball, with the risks to take. It's never perfect, but I'm really happy with what I've seen from him, the composure and the poise that he has on the field.
I don't know if any college program has more lineage at quarterback than Brigham Young. There are some others as well, but including Wilson with the Jets, who hopefully is going to bounce back from the injury, when Jim McMahon and Steve Young and Gifford Nielsen and on and on and on. Ty Detmer. Have any of the former players that were stars at Brigham Young talked to you a little bit about what they see in Jiren?
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought we keep in contact with most of those guys, and they're available for our players. I welcome our alumni, not just the quarterbacks, our alumni to be involved and to mentor our young men on the team. But yeah, I think there's a sense of tradition where there's being the quarterback at BYU is something special. And Jiren, he grew up BYU because his dad played here. His mom was a gymnast here. So it's the school and the athletics department is nothing new to him. He had an older brother that played here for us back in 2016. So he's definitely involved in the system, and we tend to have a lot of legacy players that sons and grandsons come back and play for us too. So we feel like this is an extended part of the family, having the alumni be involved and giving their I can trust any of our quarterbacks to talk to Steve Young Jim McMahon, Ty Detmer, those guys will give them great knowledge about being a quarterback at BYU on and off the field.
When this deal was signed for these two teams to play, this is going to be 2 games and over. And, maybe see you again in 30 years, kind of a thing because of the way college football scheduling works. Now, not knowing exactly when you'll see them again, but probably next year or the year after, is there kind of now this excited sense of this is now built the foundation of a conference rivalry to come?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. That we have an opportunity to play them again, and the fact that they're the returning conference champs, and then that we'll see them in the future. But I have tons of respect for Dave Aranda. I mean, that guy and his staff. There's something special there, and anytime we can be able to share the field with that type of program, we're really excited about it. I'm honored to be on this field with Baylor and that program and having their fan base interact with our fan base. Hopefully this will be a great relationship, and hopefully we can get some wins along the way too. I wouldn't mind that on our side.
Kalani, yeah, that helps. It's a friendly rivalry until you start playing for championships, and then I hope it always stays that way because both of you are ranked in the top 25. The constant change that we've seen in college football for the last really couple of years, including Brigham Young and others joining the Big 12, the USC-UCLA story, the college football expansion, has it almost just gotten to the point where it's a blur of what's going on?
Well, I mean, that's the game. That's life. We adapt to whatever is out there and what's available, and we make the most of it. And I think we're in a really good spot right now, talking about our program and with our fan base. And I know that Baylor feels the same way too. So you're looking at all the changes that have happened and the ones that are in the near future. We're always going to adapt and find a way to keep this focused on the young men, the student athletes, and then for us in the football program, the young men on the field, and make sure that they have the best experience and that we as mentors allow them the opportunity to grow and become wonderful men when they leave our universities. And that's what I look forward to doing. And I think if we keep that focus in mind, and everything else will work out just fine.
Thank you for your time, Kalani. We always appreciate it. I got to say this, is that when all the changes happened a year ago and the new teams joined the conference, or at least agreed to, having you on as many times as we have has been great for us. We appreciate it. We look forward to Brigham Young and everything that you guys bring to the table, including this weekend. Thank you very much.
Well, you guys know I appreciate you, and I love being on your show. So whenever you guys need me, I'm always here.
Block my number. Block the number. Thank you. That's a really good man, Kalani Sitake. He played fullback. So did